Welcome, everybody. This is Dusty White, Owen County Assessor. Appreciate you watching my video. I'm trying to help you a little bit with some knowledge if you're looking um, assessments and tax bills. Our assessments have went up. They're based on market value. Everybody knows the market's up. Some people don't know how much. It's higher than people think. Hoping to help clarify a few things here. Try to make short videos I can. Uh, I appreciate your time. Thanks for watching. So our assessments, yes, they've gone up. They're based on market value. Our reassessment, we reassess every house in the county every 4 years. Every year, we do about 25% of the county. We come out and look. Um, we we adjust for the market annually. New construction. There's a lot of aspects to it. The local assessor, we kind of use some of the basic metrics. We put in um, construction qualities and conditions and things and a lot of it, believe it or not, state driven. Um, the our models showing our uh, pre-construction costs new that you'll see on our property cards. It's put out by the state according to uh, what we label it as and how we label things. It spits us out a number, and our current market is pretty high. Um, I understand. Uh, Mine also went up. So let's just get on into market value. Like I said, this is based on market value. If you look at our little chart here, this is from 2010 to current, and you can see this is median sales price in Owen County. The blue line that you can't hardly see there is our area, our MLS. This is the Bloomington Board of Realtors uh, data. The gray line shows ours here in Owen County. Uh, you can see the last couple of years, it sure enough has gone up. Those numbers are getting up there. Those are median sales prices, so the middle sales prices of homes being sold. Uh, Now I'm going to ask everybody to check out the Owen GIS. So when I say Owen GIS, I'm talking about owenin.wthgis.com. Uh, I'm going to go to it here real quick if I can. So this is Owen GIS. That's how it pulls up. Cool thing about Owen GIS, all our data's here. Um, it has our property cards. It has our tax bills are even attached to our properties. Um, the entire county. It's all public record. The the property cards, just to clarify, they get added in once a year. So if there's any changes made in that year, um, they won't show up until the next year. They'll be in our system here in our office and corrected, but and or adjusted. But those cards on here only get updated once a year. It costs money to upload all those, so we do it once a year. Um, right after we finalize our current year, we upload those and then start all over. So our adjustments start all over uh, each year. Our assessment date. So that was another big one. Timing of assessment and or tax bills. So timing of assessment is as of January 1 of each year. So the tax bills came out Friday, probably in your mailbox last couple of days, maybe tomorrow. Um, those tax bills are 22 pay 23. People hear that a lot. 22 pay 23 or 21 pay 22. Um, that means the assessed value for this current tax bill is as of January 1 of 2022. To create the assessed value as of January 1 of 2022, we pull a lot of data from 21 going into 22. So there's always a lag or behind. Um, so the market's moving. Um, so when it goes up, we'll follow it up, but we're following the market all the time. Uh, right today, you won't be taxed today until 2 years from now, technically, because it's January 1. We're after January. Um, so it'll be as of the current date. Anything changes today will be changed in the 24 year, pay 25. It's very confusing, uh, but just know that there's a lag. Um, the current assessments, the current tax bills are for January 1 of 21. I may have butchered it. I apologize. It is kind of confusing. So on the GIS, cool things are happening in Owen County. We are going to have a live events, uh, hopefully by the end of May, tentatively. I don't know exactly what the schedule is, but like our last tornado came through and there was all sorts of trees down, power outages and things. Our GIS here, this website, is going to be able to have live events. So it'll show uh, power lines down or trees down or road closures or flooding um, live. So you can pull this up and look, okay, what roads are open and how to maneuver those things. Um, so it'll be live information. I'm going to kind of show you how the GIS works real quick. I'm going to pick the courthouse. So if you click on the courthouse here, try to keep this as quick as I can, and I'm already going over. Uh, you click on it, and all this information pops up on the side. Uh, it'll give us the outline of the property. We'll have images of properties, and we can see our property card. So here's the property card of the courthouse. Now, every house in the county or every home, every property has a property card. They're all a little bit different, but it's a lot of the same information according to your property or your house. This first page gives you a year by year breakdown of your land and your improvements, and then the totals. You can tell even the courthouse went up in between 21 and 22. Uh, Values have gone up. Our state-driven models went up. 2x4 cost more this year than it did last year, uh, and that's what they're accounting for. So our first page, gives us now an improvement. I've been asked a lot of things. I do want to clarify an improvement is a improvement to the real property. So an improvement isn't necessarily a new addition or a new roof. The improvements on the property card are talking about structures. Uh, Anything that's an improvement to the land or the real estate or the real property is an improvement. Um, your first line here is this is your land section on that first page. Um, Yours will probably have with a home, it'll have a 9. That means home site, and it'll give you kind of the rundown of where we get that number and how we do it, and all the information. Then at the end, it'll give you a, a value for that line. Now, if you have a bunch of land, it'll sort it out by property, by soil types or excess acreage or many things. But each line will have a value at the end. It'll give you the calculated acreage of that total lot there. Uh, on a building, each building we have will have a line on that second page with all the information. Uh, and then you walk down through that. The grades of construction quality according to the year it was built. Um, the effective age, just means that's how our depreciation is going to work. Our condition here is it's average condition. Uh, and once you go through all the math, uh, we start off here with our reconstruction cost new minus the depreciation according to how old it is. Uh, it kicks us out a number. That's where we end up. A whole lot of information. I'd be happy to sit down with anybody that needs some explanations or to see how those markets have changed. Um, Also on the GIS, this tax, you can look at your tax bill, your current tax bill. You can click on tax payments, and it'll kick up to this page. This is linked to the treasurer's office um, system and has the current tax bill. And this is the exact tax bill you'll get in the mail. Um, so on these tax bills, just a quick run through. It'll give you the spring installment, the fall installment. If you accidentally forgot to pay those taxes last year, it'll show you a delinquent tax or a penalty or any issues. Those will all add up in your first column there in your spring balance due. Um, then your second page is a real good breakdown of how these work. Uh, we'll on this line, I know this has got a bunch of zeros and we'll work through it, but on line two, it gives you the total gross assessed value. And then 2A says minus deductions. Well, down here at the bottom, it'll list right here, it'll list all your deductions, a homestead, a supplemental. There's several deductions. They add all those up for each year, and they will minus those from your total assessed value to give your net assessed value. Then your net assessed value, you'll multiply by your tax rate, which is on here. Tax rates have went down from last year to this year. Um, that'll end up giving us our tax bill. It'll also, on this page, gives us a breakdown of where all this money goes and how it works. But all this is accessible through our GIS, the owen.wthgis.com. I'm going to go back to my little presentation here, and here's another tax bill you may be able to see. Our assessed value here is 372, and this year it's 429. Market adjustment. Those deductions are right down there at the bottom. Last year the deductions were 136. This year they're 152. So they grew as well. Our tax bills were 4,200 last year, and they're 4,500 this year. That's what it looks like. Now all this breakdown will show you what those numbers look like and where they go. So the city and town, last year they got 0.16. This year it's 0.15. Of this tax bill that I swiped out there, it was $381 went to the city and town, and $440 this year. The county, $1,100 last year, $1,147 this year. The library, $230, $238 this year. The school gets $2,500. So you can follow along through those. This is a breakdown of how all the taxes work. So the county, believe it or not, only gets less than 25%. This is our property tax summary from 2022. School gets the majority. The library gets a little over 5%. County gets 25%. A little bitty sliver. Oh, can't see where it goes. This is a breakdown. I've got some of these printouts. City and town gets a little over 8%. Just to kind of show you where the money goes. I know a lot of people ask that. Well, where's this money go? Folks, I know these